We're here again. It's time for another week of predictions. There's like 6 teams on buys next on this week. But the Steelers are 2 wins away from having the winning record this year again, as always. So, yep. And maybe, just maybe, they'll go to the postseason. And then after that, Steelers gonna go to Super Bowl? Probably. Anyways, hello, Steelers Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. 6 weeks left, and it's not getting any easier. Attack! And we're going to be going over the Week 13 predictions for the NFL 2023 season. And let's begin, starting off with the Thursday Night Football game on Amazon Prime and Twitch. You have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams played on Thanksgiving last week, so it only makes sense to get only 1 week off this time. The Seahawks getting their booties handed to upon fine China by the San Francisco 49ers. And Dallas, well, kicking booty against the Washington Commanders. Bland setting records by getting his 5th pick 6 of the season. And yeah, the Dallas Cowboys firing on all cylinders right now. The Seahawks have some injuries on their teams. That's definitely hurting them, pun intended. But yeah, the Cowboys, that defense is just good. Dak is slinging balls to his receivers, and Pollard's finally getting involved with the run game. So because the Dallas Cowboys are on fire and they're hot right now, I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to win on Thursday. And oh boy, watch out. Because they're coming. They're not going to go all the way. Like we know that. Like, they're always going to fall short. But let them have this at least. They've earned it. Then you have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Colts getting it done last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Titans, well, they didn't lose at least. They didn't lose to the Carolina Panthers, because if they did, that would be really, really bad PR. The Mailman looking pretty good last week, and Jonathan Taylor from the Colts did get hurt, so yeah, we hope he's good. But even with JT out, I think Zach Moss' run game will still be really, really good. I mean, did you see that one game where he walked all over them? That one team? Was it the Bills they walked over? I'm pretty sure it was, right? Was it? Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. I think it's probably some other team. I don't think it was the Bills, but that's either here nor there. I do have the Colts winning this game, only because I don't have much faith in Tennessee, especially after these past few weeks. So, yeah, Colts win, and looking good in Indy. And then you have the LA Chargers taking on the New England Patriots. Both of these teams getting L's last week. The Chargers was an ugly game against the Ravens, and they fell short because the Ravens' defense is just good. Either they face a really, really good defense, or they just choke. And somehow and maybe occasionally manage to win one. That's Chargers football there. And then you got the New England Patriots, who lost the Tank Bowl with the Giants. Normally a big rivalry between Tom Brady and Eli Manning. But now it's chaos and misery and defeat. But it doesn't matter. Chargers win. At least they should. They shouldn't Charger it this week. Oh my God, did they Charger it this week? Oh no. Anyway, Chargers win. There's no reason why they shouldn't. Then you have the Detroit Lions taking on the New Orleans Saints. Both teams facing L's last week. The Lions, well, they suck on Thanksgiving, so the Packers kind of had it easy. And then the New Orleans Saints, well, they faced Desmond Ridder at home. And Desmond Ridder does really, really well at home. A little too well. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know. But yeah, I do have the Lions winning against the Saints. The Saints didn't really impress me last week, and well, the Lions just suck on Thanksgiving. So, yep, Lions win, and Saints, well, they keep plummeting. Then you have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New York Jets. The Falcons started some Ridder back, and maybe it was a good thing because they ended up winning a football game for the first time in like 3 weeks. I know, right? And then you have the Jets who started Tim Boyle on Black Friday, and everything was garbage. The Jets had a pick, and then he threw a Hail Mary to end the half, and it ended up being a 99-yard pick six. I thought only James Harrison could do that. That's called foreshadowing. And yeah, it was bad. Falcons should win, and everything is chaos. Remember how I said that James Harrison should be the one that does pick sixes? Well, guess what the next game is? You got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I didn't do this for the Rams game. As you can see in my Super Bowl, you got beat the Vikings in this one, Cowboys on this one. Then you have the Cowboys again, and then the Rams are the one down here. And then you had the Seahawks one over here, and then you had the Cardinals one right here. Actually, I got something to show y'all. Hold on, give me a minute. And then I was at a gaming conference in Atlanta at the end of summer, and then I found this ring here. It's a Steelers replica Super Bowl ring. Got Roethlisberger here on the end, and then there it is. Super Bowl 43. Cardinals Steelers. 6 Lombardis. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh, yes. Anyways, back to the actual predictions. The Cardinals getting the absolute crap smacked out of them by the LA Rams. Should have seen that one coming, but I didn't. Anyways, and then you had the Steelers who post that Canada era, baby. Sure, the Bengals were Joe Burrow-less, but it doesn't matter. Getting the job done, 400 yards of offense, and everything feels good. Yes. Yes. Ha. Anyways. Yeah, it's great. The Steelers should win this game. Going to be back at home, finally, for the first time in a few weeks. So, Kyle Murray coming to town shouldn't matter. The Cardinals' defense is not that good, and their offense is not much better, especially that offensive line. Sure, we will see James Conner again and Hollywood Brown, but yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hopefully. Steelers win. and the legacy lives on. Then you have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a NFC South showdown. Do we really need to go over this game? Sure, the Panthers lost, and then they fired Frank Wright and a few other people, which, quite frankly, I don't know why they didn't do that earlier. Same thing goes with Matt Canada. And makes me question why the Chargers still haven't fired Brandon Staley. Chargers, do your freaking jobs. Anyways. Yeah, and then the Bucs, well, they got beat by the Colts, but the Colts are actually doing pretty good, so props to them. The Bucs should win this game. I see no reason why they shouldn't. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Need I go on? Well, baby Baker Mayfield's not the greatest. Wait, did he get injured this past week? And they put in Kyle Trask? Did I miss something? It doesn't matter. They should still win. Then you have the Miami Dolphins taking on the Washington Commanders. The Dolphins beat the Jets on Monday Night Football. And it's Monday Night Football. Black Friday football. I don't know why it's on Monday night. I'm stupid. Anyways, Dolphins won that game. And I'm pretty sure we saw that one coming. And then there was the Commanders. Can someone please tell me why Sam Howell has the most passing yards of all the QBs out there right now? The kid is in his second year, has been sacked the most times of any QB in the league at 52. The season's not even over. Well, 52 as of week 11. I can't remember how many times he got sacked in week 12 when I even watched the game. Maybe because I was just so focused on Dallas, just like dominating that game, I wasn't paying any attention. Oh, but yeah, he's been sacked so many times, it's like not even funny. And the guy has more passing yards than all the other QBs in the league. How? I'm telling you, the NFL is chaos. But the Dolphins should win this game. It's Tyreek Hill. It's Jalen Waddle. It's Tua. It's Jalen Ramsey. It's Holland. It's all these guys. They should have this in the bag, no problem. Dolphins win, and well, I know it's the NFL and anything can happen, but come on, it's the commies. I say that, and now I'm having flashbacks to our undefeated season. And then that happened. Why? Then you got the Denver Broncos taking on the Houston Texans. And the Broncos, a little bit of a 5-game win streak. Look at you guys. Look at you. A little bit of a win streak going on. Ooh, I see you. Going against the Texans who had one and then lost to the Jaguars. Yeah, wasn't pretty. Stroud did good though. But that's about it. Everything else was garbage. But, oh well. The Jags defense is actually pretty underrated. It's a really good defense. And Denver's is sneaky good too. Russ finally getting back to form. Sean Payton returning to coach form that we all know. And it's like that 70-point game against the Dolphins never happened. And I'm sure all Broncos fans would like to forget that happened. I am going to actually pick Denver to win this week. Only because I feel like Denver's on a bit of a hot streak and they show no signs of slowing. They just don't. Denver is looking pretty good right now. They're like hanging on by a thread in the hunt. They're like number 8 or 9 in the hunt right now. Like they're climbing up that ladder and they're like they really need to win this game if they have any chance of making it into the postseason. Because, like I said, the Colts should win this week and probably next week as well. Denver needs to win this game. And it's going up against the Texans, which are a good team. But, and it's a home game for the Texans, but I think Denver can pull out the win. So, Denver has my vote. And let's see what they do with it. Next up, you have the Cleveland Browns taking on the LA Rams. DTR for the Browns got hurt last week against their game with the Denver Broncos. And made DTR's life pretty bad, actually. DTR did not look good. Eventually got hurt. PJ Walker came in. You have Joe Flacco now. Just start the guy. Sure, he's old and hasn't been on the team very long. But look at Josh Dobbs and Baker Mayfield a few years ago when he was with the Rams. Their first starts with those teams haven't been there for like a day, and we're already out there slinging balls. Joe Flacco is a veteran Super Bowl winning QB, unfortunately. And okay, to be fair, the Super Bowl win was against the 49ers, and I was actually rooting for Baltimore that year because I didn't want a two-way. Now it would have been three-way tie for first place in terms of the Lombardi trophies. I didn't want that. So I am still kind of happy Baltimore won the Super Bowl, not going to lie. I was upset that they even made it in the first place. The Harbaugh Bowl is what it was. John Harbaugh versus Jim Harbaugh. Joe Flacco versus Colin Kaepernick. Who won? Joe Flacco. But that's neither here nor there. Cleveland, what are you doing? Going up against the Rams, who are going up against a really good defense in the Browns this week, but not so much in the Cardinals last week. Ahem. And Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, looking real good. But I do have the Rams winning, mainly out of spite, which is my second spite pick this week. The first one I picked was that London Ravens-Titans game. But this one has a little bit of luck. This one, I actually have faith in the Rams that they can get the job done. Because if the Browns lose, we have more conference wins than they do. So if they lose, and the Colts and the Broncos win, the Browns fall out of the playoffs and fall into the hunt, and then the Broncos take over that 7th seed. So, it's going to be crazy, assuming that the Rams get the win against Cleveland, because, oh boy. I just want to see chaos. I just want to see chaos happen. Give it to me. Give the chaos to me. Come on. Bring it. And then you have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The game of the week. Maybe even the year. Assuming that it goes better than the Eagles-Bills game last week. This was supposed to be the battle of the undefeated Titans. But now both of these teams have losses. But it doesn't matter. It's still the battle of the NFC Titans. The 49ers, looking to prove themselves a superior team against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles won the NFC Championship game last year because the 49ers had no QBs. But now they do. And they're healthy again. So it's a battle of equals. Who will come out on top? The 49ers are one of the best teams in the league. Really good defense, really good offense. But they're not a team built for comebacks. Lately, it's been a little tough for Philadelphia to be turning on the Jets in the first half, but when they do, they're a potent team. They can run it on you, they can pass it on you, and that defense is commemorable. I don't know who to pick. As I want to go for the upset and pick the San Francisco 49ers. I want to go for the upset here. But I am going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles at home. And I think they can do it. They have the squad to go back to the Super Bowl. We'll likely see these two teams again in the NFC Championship game. We will likely see them there. So, Philadelphia, you win this one, but I expect to see this match again in the NFC Championship game. Don't let me down. Then you have the Sunday night game. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Green Bay Packers. Chiefs. It was scary against the Raiders for a second, and then, well, Patrick Mahomes realized, I'm Patrick Mahomes. I should be winning football games. And they won a football game. And by a commemorable amount, too. And the Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving when they're at their weakest. So I don't know if I should say that they're really, really good. Like they're getting better, or they just got lucky. Might be a mix of both. But that's neither here nor there. There are 2 wins away, though, from making the postseason. The last time these two teams played last year, it was Jordan Love's first career start. And, both defenses showed up during that game, and there was no offense to speak of whatsoever. And the Packers could have won that game. However, I don't really see that happening here, especially with such a young offense in the Packers. So I am going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to win. The Packers defense might keep them in it for a while, but eventually the Chiefs will pull ahead, I think. And the Chiefs should win this game. And keep things rolling. That's the way they should be. Then you have the Monday Night Football game. The Kitty Goes Meow, Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Glitter Kitties and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Battle of the Kitties and the Bengals lost to the Steelers, mainly because of no Joe Burrow, and the Jaguars beat their AFC South rival in the Houston Texans. And I have the Jaguars winning, as many of you probably expected. With no Joe Burrow, the Bengals are pretty much done for. And now they're just playing for a pick. And now the Jacksonville Jaguars are still fighting for control of the division, which they are favored to win still. So yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars should have this one. Trevor Lawrence looking good. The defense looking good. And things are looking up in Jacksonville. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you have winning this week? And I'll tell you that I went 10-6 last week, which puts me at 118-62 on the year. Feeling pretty good about that. And things are looking up over here. Let me know what you're at in your pick'em. And let me know if you agree with these predictions. I am your host, Zach Attack. And as always, you're in Steelers country.